Evening, everyone, and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we're going to start tonight with the New Hampshire primary, now just 24 hours away, and things getting feisty. Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright generating her own share of controversy and noise about these comments while stumping for Hillary.
There's never been anybody that is better at understanding things and ready to go than Hillary. And just remember, there's a special place in hell for women who don't help each other.
And how about the big dog, Bill Clinton? He lobbying sexism accusations at supporters of Bernie Sanders. Take a listen.
People who have gone online to defend Hillary and explain why they supported her have been subject to attacks that are literally too profane, often, not to mention sexist, to repeat.
All right, let's bring in our senior political correspondent, Andrew Whitman. He's live on the ground in Manchester, New Hampshire. Like we said, Andrew, 24 hours away. What are you hearing?
Thank you very much, Frank.
Well, 24 hours away, and the excitement seems to be building in town, not dampened by the snowfall outside. We're here at the converted Greek Orthodox Church, in the gymnasium of that church, where Governor Chris Christie is getting ready to have a town hall. We'll have more on that and the Republican race in just a few moments. But as for the Democratic side of this race, first of all, the crowds at both Sanders and the Clinton events that we've seen today have been pretty enormous, actually larger than the 400 to 500 people who are in the room behind me right now. As for those charges that came from Bill Clinton last night about sexism in the campaign, that was a dominant headline for the Democrats this morning. We attended both a Sanders rally and a Clinton rally and talked to the people who were there, Democrats who are interested in both candidates. And frankly, they are not buying the sexism charge or the use of gender as a tool in this campaign by the Clinton campaign. Here's a sample of just some of what we heard.
I think it's an insult to an intelligent, American, educated woman that you would vote just because she's a female.
The comments from President Clinton yesterday that Bernie Sanders supporters are being somewhat sexist, I'm curious your reaction to that.
The whole games and stuff, looking for some angle to make some controversy, which is great. She's all about the 24/7s, but, that's not really speaking to me or anybody else who gives a hoot or tuned in.
Now, the poll numbers in this race continue to tighten on the Democratic side, though Bernie Sanders continues to enjoy a double-digit lead. That lead is slowly narrowing. One additional bit of information, Politico reporting earlier, and this has been widely picked up, of a likely shakeup within the Clinton campaign if Hillary Clinton loses as expected tomorrow night to Bernie Sanders, and particularly if that happens in large fashion. The reporting indicating that several key Democrats, saying that Bill and Hillary both very frustrated with the messaging of the campaign and are looking to make a change, perhaps to just bolster the numbers, give an image that the foundering campaign or the wobbling campaign is doing a little bit better than people expect, and that donors and other supporters should not have anything to worry about. That will be a story for Wednesday. That's 2 days from now as we await primary day tomorrow. We'll be back with more on the Republican side, including some from Chris Christie as his town hall kicks off. But for now, Rich, let's send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Well, I can't think of anyone better to talk about Hillary Clinton, where she is now, and also where this campaign may go from here than our next guest, Congresswoman Nita Lowey, Democrat representing Westchester and the greater Hudson Valley area for quite some time here. She's a longtime friend and supporter of Hillary Clinton, and she's kind enough to join us in studio. Congresswoman, as always, thank you.
It is a pleasure for me to be with you. And frankly, when I listened to Andrew's report, and I know he's listening, he has his ear to the ground, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I know Hillary, you know Hillary, I've worked with Hillary. I've worked with her when she was Secretary of State because I was chair and then ranking of the committee that funds all their programs. I've worked with her on Head Start, on just a whole range of issues. She's been a fighter for not only education and healthcare and foreign operations, but, quote, the women's issues. When she, way back in college, if you look at her record, she has been an advocate for the right to choose, for equal pay, for education. I don't understand it. I cannot understand how a woman or a man could get out there and vote for Bernie Sanders. And he says a self-declared socialist, I don't understand it. Frankly, her record, forgetting the fact that I know her, I work with her, she's a constituent, her record is so outstanding on every issue that men and women should care about. And when women don't support her, this is beyond me. I don't understand.
They broke out the numbers, Congresswoman. It's funny because we showed our audience what Madeleine Albright had today, Secretary Albright, but also Gloria Steinem, right? She said largely what Madeleine Albright said. She said, what's going on here? Is it a generational thing, you think? Less so than, I mean, because women over 40, they break Hillary's way. Under 40, they're actually breaking Sanders' way, at least in New Hampshire with the numbers that are out there right now. I know she'll tell you stuff that she won't tell anybody else, and I know you're not going to say it as much as I might try and get it out of you, but it's got to be, I don't care what pollster or consultant says, who can make heads or tails out of this, right?
You know, I'm with you, Richard. I just don't understand it. You know, he's not a young man, not a young woman. He's a 74-year-old declared socialist. Her record on every issue that I care about and that women care about is so consistent, and she has the experience. She is ready. Look, we are living in a very complicated world. I get briefings, I get classified briefings all the time, and to have someone become the president who doesn't have the experience of Hillary and doesn't take positions that, frankly, I agree with up and down the line, I am really concerned about the future of our country.
It's funny. You heard before a report, Andrew referenced it's going out there, that there's a concern on the part of not just Hillary, but Bill as well, that the messaging hasn't put her in the best footing. But if you think about Bernie Sanders, every single event says it's time for a revolution. And that's resonating, at least with the progressives. On the flip side, Hillary's made it pretty clear that experience and electability are the two things that she's going to bring to the table. Is that almost a negative in today's climate, that you're part of the quote-unquote establishment? Forget the fact that he's been in Washington for a long time, too.
But I don't understand it, and I'll tell you why. You talk about experience. Today was talking to a group at Westchester Community College, and I've been to Rockland Community College, about Pell Grants. She gets it. She understands how important it is for these young people who are going to go out and vote to get a scholarship. Many of these kids are working
Bernie's
2,
saying,
3
you heard
jobs.
it, he'll make sure college is free for everybody.
And who's going to pay for it? Oh, my constituents are going to love a tax increase. They won't vote for a tax increase for anything or for anybody. Look, I'd love to have college free. I'd love to have kindergarten free. I'd love to have pre-K free. But I know that Hillary cares passionately about these issues, and if anyone can work with the Congress and get things done, she can. And I don't understand how his rhetoric is being bought by these young people. I don't get it.
Well, we saw back
So
in...
maybe we'll be fooled.
Well, we saw back in 2008, young people were drawn to Barack Obama. And I think in retrospect, I get it. It made some sense. But you had to have had this conversation. Did anybody in a million years see Bernie Sanders resonating with 20-something-year-olds? No, right? She must be saying, Nita, what's going on?
Yeah, I just can't figure it out. I mean, with his Brooklyn accent, not that I have anything against Brooklyn, but I just don't understand it. And to think that the young people would, and young women, would be choosing Bernie over Hillary doesn't make, but I have faith. Look,
well, they think
he's
in
from
the
Vermont,
South Carolina, Nevada, it'll turn around Super Tuesday.
I think so.
Do you think she'd be better served, and we got, I think, a little bit of a preview in the last debate, with going after him more than just hoping he'll go away?
I don't think so, frankly. And I think he's been smart. He hasn't really attacked her. I think if she just communicates with the audience and explains her views, talking about her domestic agenda, education and healthcare, and also her experience in dealing with leaders all through the world. I can remember taking a trip with her, I think it was Kenya, and the corruption in Kenya is out of sight. She told those leaders, boy, did she give them a piece of her mind. And every young woman was running after her. They wanted her autograph. They were okay to say hello to me, but they wanted her autograph. I can't understand why every young woman, 18 and above, every senior woman, everyone doesn't understand that this is a woman who's been fighting.
So you liked Albright's line, there's a special place in hell for her.
Absolutely. Well, Madeleine Albright's terrific.
Yeah.
I've worked closely with her.
I'd be remiss. There was the 63rd vote, I think, to repeal Obamacare. We know where it's going to go. On the flip side, I know it's going to get lost with the election cycle, but those poor people of Flint, Michigan, the House, so people know, they had the chance, and the Senate for that matter, to do the right thing here because Michigan's not doing the right thing. They didn't even bring in Governor Snyder as a witness. And more than that, they didn't get Michigan the money they need. What's going on there?
That's why the Democrats have to take back control of the House.
No, but it's outrageous, isn't it?
It's outrageous. And we have to, I don't even know how you can make the people of Flint good again. How did their leadership get them in this position? I've been working on the dangers of
Congress had a chance to do the right thing, and they didn't, right? Okay.
Correct. And hopefully we will. Because whether you're a Democrat or Republican, you have to see the damage. I've been working on this issue with lead paint for years and years. At the beginning of my career, this is really damaging, and we know what it can do to the mental capacity of kids.
Finally, you think we talk a month from now, you think Super Tuesday rolls around, even less than a month, that we're going to say, oh, this was a blip on the radar for Hillary? You think she's got to fight from now all the way through the primary process with Bernie Sanders? Is this going to be the long haul, or do you think she kind of gets past this hurdle and it'll be easy sailing not too long
Well,
from now?
obviously, I'm an optimist, and I know how talented
But you're also
Hillary
a pragmatist.
is. But I'm a pragmatist, too, and I think she has to keep talking to people, can't take anyone for granted. And when people really get to know her and hear her and
But don't they know her already?
Maybe some people don't. No, you know, I'll go into stores, and many people don't even know there's an election coming up. It's really, you know that, Richard.
Yeah, hopefully they're not watching now, because there is an election. All right.
There is an election, and I hope people will get out and vote for Hillary, because she should be the next president of the United States.
If there's anybody that Secretary Clinton will gossip with and tell the dirt to, and try and clear the men out of the room, it's the Congresswoman here at the table. So she's only given us what she wants to give us, but she'll know what's up and what's down. And we'll also know what's up and what's down with the Clinton campaign, potentially as early as Wednesday, if New Hampshire doesn't go well. But we are hearing the polls are tightening. Congresswoman Lowy, as always, I certainly appreciate the time.
Always a pleasure to be with you.
Be interesting tomorrow night. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at the other side of the aisle with Republicans. Will Marco Rubio bounce back from the hammering he took from Chris Christie at Saturday's debate? And what about Trump? Will bounce back will he bounce back from what Ted Cruz laid on him in Iowa? All that and much more. We'll bring in former Republican Congressman to get his take as well. Stay with us.